Moderation in all things. That's what St. Benedict taught. He said, really, it's the key to healthy and spiritual good health. We know it's true for such things as eating or drinking or exercise, that it's moderation in all things. But it's also something that can be applied to the world of ethics, that we need to have a balance between two different things. A balance between the fact that I am responsible for the choices that I make, but also to note that I am impacted by what others do and say. And conversely, I can impact the ethical choices of another. Let's look at Mark's gospel that we just heard and see how Christ is encouraging us in this balanced approach. On the one hand, Jesus acknowledges the impact one person can have on another. He expresses it in the negative. If anyone would cause one of these little ones to sin, it would be better if they had a millstone tied around their neck and plunged into the middle of the sea. While it is true that one can cause another to be more open to sin, conversely, it's possible to encourage another into the life of virtues. My example, my encouragement, or lack thereof, my speaking up or being silent, can all play a role in what the other chooses to do. To be sure, peer pressure plays an important role with human beings at all stages in our life, but perhaps most noticeable during adolescence, when we're trying to clarify our own identity. We really want to be accepted and loved by the other, and sometimes we choose to go down a path that is wrong with the idea that we might be better accepted. The question for you and me this afternoon is to be aware of the influence I can have on another, but also to be more conscious of the influence another has on me. Jesus doesn't end the lesson there. He seeks the balance, he seeks the moderation, and portrays in very graphic terms the need that each one of us has to accept responsibilities for our own action. If your hand is your difficulty, cut it off. Better for you to enter life maimed than to keep both hands and enter Gehenna. He follows it up with your foot or your eyes. This passage doesn't need to be taken literally, but it needs to be taken seriously. It reflects a Semitic exaggeration to make a point. It's similar to Jesus saying, you really have to hate your mother and father if you want to be one of my disciples. We don't take that literally. It's a Semitic way of teaching, trying to get your attention. What Jesus is saying here is that you have to look at yourself as well as another and identify what is it that's causing you to sin or to make the wrong choice. To identify it and cast it out. This week, the NFL finally learned that the replacement refs were not going to work out, so they cast them out. Would it be as clear in our own lives that we could identify the element that simply is not working as far as being a disciple of the Lord is concerned? It's not our hands or our feet, but perhaps our companions or our social circle, our means of entertainment. For some, it's even a computer. We need to name what it is that creates a problem in my moral life and then to do something about it. As we continue our prayer today, let's ask the Lord to give us wisdom, insight, courage to take responsibility and to acknowledge where change needs to be introduced into our life. As is often the case, it's a question of moderation.